on? It's on. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is going on YouTube, I assume. This is a podcast, which is not on podcasting things. I blame him. Don't really care, though. There's no name at the moment. We're working on it. Hopefully we'll have one by tomorrow. If not, this is an unnamed podcast.
Well, the podcast I will have a name by it, or hopefully I'll have a name for it by
If not,
tomorrow.
you should still just upload it.
I'm going to upload it.
Well, yeah.
And then when I upload it, I'll put the title in it and all that. I'll do the editing.
Okay, so we're missing someone. This is a pretty jank start, but we've been sitting here for fucking 20 minutes, and if I don't get this started and we deal with this, I'm going to lose my damn mind.
Anyway, so yeah, we're going to go ahead and get started. You're
We're
going to
gonna
miss out on basketball
We're going to miss on basketball. We're going to miss on baseball, even though baseball's not playing currently. So today is the date is January 7th of 2024. So
we're filming this a day early. You'll get this.
This will come out January 8th.
Yes, about 28th. Yeah.
All right. So, what do you want to talk about? What should we start with?
We can go ahead and start with I think the easiest one, and we can get into all these other things later.
Yeah.
We're gonna go ahead and start with UFC.
UFC.
Thing you're good at.
All right, I get to play this one. Let me roll my sleeves up. So we're gonna start with the UFC. So I'm gonna talk about the ones in January mainly because it's gonna be a weekly thing, right?
Yeah,
weekly. So
I'll explain to that later.
let's do at the moment the big things going on right now. Last week or sometime I was actually earlier this week. The notorious one, Conor McGregor. We all know him. We all have opinions on him. He announced that he will be fighting Michael Chandler sometime in June for International Fight Week at 185 pounds. Now, it's unconfirmed that it will actually be 185 pounds, but sources are pretty likely that it's going to be on International Fight Week. So, and right now, according to some sources, I believe Conor McGregor has actually opened as a favorite over Michael Chandler. It's very interesting. Conor hasn't fought in, I think, 2-3 years, maybe less, maybe more. I believe his last fight was Dustin Poirier. And I said that wrong, but I'm going to mess up a lot of these names because I need to actually get to the fight night that's coming up soon.
You keep talking, I need to go grab something.
All right, hurry up. I don't want to do this all by myself, but Dustin beat him with a huge leg kick.
All right.
And did you really just get up to look behind the camera because you left your phone on the seat? I cannot believe you just did that. That was so dumb. Anyway, Dustin beat him. I forget exactly what he broke. He broke his leg. So yeah, that's pretty exciting. We get to see the return of the Notorious One. Other than that, Sean Strickland, the UFC middleweight champion, and I would be talking about just to preference this. I'm not that huge of a fan of MMA. I'm trying to get more into it, so I won't be talking about one. I won't be talking about the PFL. None of that. I'd be talking about Bellator, but Bellator is now bought by the PFL. But yes, Sean Strickland, the UFC middleweight champion, has come under some scrutiny by none other than Henry Cejudo. I don't know if you know who Henry Cejudo is. I know you're not a huge fan of MMA. I'm enjoying it. I'm starting to get more into it. I don't have $80 to spend on the UFC pay-per-view, Dana. Come on, make them more affordable. Pretty please. Love you, buddy. But anyway, it's pretty big. Sean went on a podcast with Theo Vaughn. I don't know if you know who Theo Vaughn is. Theo Vaughn is a comedian. He's a really cool guy. I enjoy him. But Theo Vaughn pretty much on his podcast they had a conversation, and Sean had a bit of a break, which was fair. And what ended up happening was that Sean came under some scrutiny because from Henry Cejudo and from a couple others as well. I don't think anyone big, but a lot of the fans, because he said some stuff about Sean, said some stuff about Dricus Du Plessis, the guys who be fighting. So yeah, I think Sean personally takes against Dricus. I think Dricus is going to be a tough fight, but I don't think he's going to win. What are you doing on your phone? We'll do it in a second. It's my segment. You listen to me. You comment on what I'm saying. This is my segment of the podcast. Go fuck yourself. Anyway, so that's some of the big news. A fight I just want to talk about before we even continue on to the fight card coming up next Saturday is Robert Whitaker, my personal favorite fighter, versus Paulo Costa. I don't know if you know who Paulo Costa is, but I know I've told you about Robert Whitaker. Robert the Reaper Whitaker has recently come under his first loss to someone other than Adesanya, which was Dricus. It was a very impressive win by Dricus. All respect to Dricus. He caught him with a good, I think it was a jab. I don't think he was even across, but Robert slammed straight into his jab, and Dricus was able to finish him, which was insane. But now he's going to fight Paulo Costa. Paulo Costa has pulled out of literally all of his last fights. I don't remember the last time he fought. I'm pretty sure the last time he fought was against Luke Rockhold, where he couldn't even finish Luke Rockhold. Luke Rockhold is not a great fighter. Luke Rockhold, I like Luke Rockhold. He kicked my ass, but one in the UFC could kick my ass. It's like, when it comes down to it, Luke Rockhold got finished by Michael Bisping, who is a good puncher. He's not a hard puncher. So that's my opinion on that. I don't think Paulo Costa, if he does show up, has any chance of beating Robert. I think the eraser has been erased, and I feel like if he pulls out of this one, he needs to just get cut. But now, on to what I need my phone for. The fight night coming up, which is Ankalaev versus Johnny Walker. Magomed, I think that's his name. I apologize if I fuck up these names. Magomed Ankalaev versus Johnny Walker. Ankalaev is coming into this 8-1-1. Walker's coming into this one 21-7-1. So the no contest both of these gentlemen have comes from their last fight, which I think was a robbery of Walker. Because what ended up happening in that fight was a flying knee got caught by Ankalaev. Ankalaev took him to the ground, put him up against the cage, and hit an illegal knee. And when the doctor came in to check Johnny Walker, I forget exactly what the phrase was that the doctor used. I believe he said, "Where are you?" And Johnny Walker replied, "I'm in the desert." He's wrong, but he's right. Because yes, he's in the desert. He was in Abu Dhabi. So he's in the desert. He's right that he's in the desert. But that's not where he is. He's in Abu Dhabi. So, just to get your interest in on this, because we're going to be doing this podcast, I eventually want you to get into MMA. What's your opinion on that? It's a disqualifiable move. You need him in the head. The doctor says he can't continue. Do you agree with the no contest, or do you think it should have been a disqualification?
You got kneed in the head, right?
Kneed in the head, illegal knee.
It's an illegal knee.
It's an illegal knee. He was grounded. He was touching the ground.
And he was disqualified.
No, it was a no contest. It was ruled a no contest. I believe he should have been disqualified. I believe Ankalaev should have been disqualified, and Walker should have got the win.
You know what? Okay. It honestly depends. I don't know how it works in the UFC world. Mm-hmm. However, if you get a warning and then it happens, that's what usually happens.
So in UFC, as far as I know, if you hit it, there's no warning. There is no warning. John Jones hit an illegal knee on Anthony Smith. Could have been disqualified. Wasn't. Anthony Smith is a warrior. But Johnny Walker, what's strange to me is that they didn't give him the option to continue. They gave him the recovery time, but then the doctor checked him to see if he was okay, and the doctor ruled that he couldn't continue. But Johnny Walker was still trying to fight. It actually became a big deal because Ankalaev and Johnny Walker were about to fight in the middle of the octagon when everyone was like, "No, the fight's over." Yeah. It nearly got bad before Dana White came in. He calmed everybody down. But I'm excited for that fight. My prediction is that Walker takes the fight. I think he just has more tools overall.
I gotta agree with you on that one. I actually don't think so.
Okay, yeah, he's the worm doing caveman.
Yep.
And he's a powerful puncher. I think on the feet, Ankalaev might get wrecked, but I think that on the ground, if it goes to the ground, Ankalaev is gonna just dominate him. So we'll have to see how that fight goes. I think that Johnny Walker has more ability, but we'll see. I don't watch Ankalaev much. The light heavyweight division has not been interesting to me ever since Yuri Prochazka
I'm about to apologize for all of you, but if I hear my dumb dog whining, or if you guys hear him,
don't call the dog. I get it. You're annoyed. You want to just be here doing
shut
this.
up. All right, you can go ahead
Okay.
again. I'm sorry about that.
Just
Gotta
chill
let
out.
them know there.
I know. Chill it out though. And then next up, I'm only going to talk about the top 3 fights because I don't know the rest of them. Apologies if you wanted to talk about that. If you want to see an actual rundown of the fight night, I would go check out Lucas Tracy MMA. Plug. I like him. Let's talk about Mateus Nicolau versus Manel, and apologies, I think it's Cape. So these two have fought before, from what I understand. And Mateus Nicolau got it last time by via split decision. I didn't see the fight. I'm gonna go rewatch the fight before I see the next one. But I didn't watch the fight. And looking at their past 2 performances, Nicolau's coming from fight night, Kansas City fight night that your father wanted to go to. He got knocked out. He got knocked out with a knee strike and lost to Brandon Royval. We recently saw lose, I think, a split decision. I don't think it was a unanimous decision to Alexander Pantoja. I don't know what his name is exactly. But just to compare that, because they're both 19 wins. Nicolau has less losses. He has 4 losses and 1 no contest, I believe. And Cop has a Cape, or I don't know what his name is. I apologize. But he's 19-6. Now they're both similar age. I think Cape is just a little bit older because he's 31. I believe Nicolau was 30, about to turn 31, or maybe it's the other way around. I'm not quite sure. But I don't know who takes this. This is going to be a tough one because in Cape's last fight, I believe he won by unanimous decision by just dominating this young kid. The young kid was 23. He's 23 years old. He's an inexperienced kid. It was a miracle that he was even fighting the number 10 position because he was unranked as far as I'm aware. And these flyweight top 15, they're ridiculously fast. They're power. And Cape has some power. And so I think, I don't know. I'm not going to give my opinion because I'm not going to vote on this. But actually, I have to. I have to give my predictions. You don't know about these guys, so I have to give my prediction. I think my prediction is that Manal takes this one because he lost the last fight. He's got a chip on that shoulder. He wants to win this one, get that win back because he was very upset the last time. That fight won by split decision in Nicolau's favor. So unless Nicolau, I see what he's been able to do because I don't actually know either of these guys. The flyweight division isn't always the most interesting. There's like 5 guys I actually watch in there. I'm trying to watch more of it because I'm trying to get more interested in these guys. But no, I think unless Nicolau does something really impressive, I think he's going to get picked apart on the feet. Because as far as I know, I'm pretty sure Nicolau is a ground fighter. Next up, this is the final one we're going to talk about, and then we can move on to some stuff we both know, just to make it easier. Because I don't have anyone to go back and forth with on this one, so it's really weird.
So we're going to be getting my dad involved and talking to him about it.
Yeah, of course. Next up is Jim Miller versus Gabriel Benitez. Is that Benitez? Can you help me with that? Benitez?
Yep.
Okay, Gabriel Benitez. I don't know Gabriel. I don't. I know Jim Miller. Jim Miller's a Hall of Famer. He's a beast. He's a legend. I mean, his last fight, he flatlined a guy. I mean, just to look at it, Gabriel is 35, Jim Miller's 40. Which is insane. The last fight I watched of Jim Miller, I watched him flatline a man with 0 issue. I think it was an overhand right, and he just let the dude down on the ground. It's insane. He's 40 years old, and he's 155 pounds, and he's still flatlining people. Lightweight is arguably the most stacked division in all the UFC. And the fact that he's at 40 years old, a time when most guys are thinking about retirement, he's still flatlining people is insane. I don't think I see a future where he doesn't win.
Yeah.
Because at 40 years old and you're still doing what most of these guys are getting Most guys his age are getting flatlined.
Yeah.
They're the ones getting flatlined. And he's still doing the flatlining. I think that Jim Miller is the crafty vet. I think he can win, unless his jaw finally gets shattered. I think he's gonna have this one pretty easily. Other than that, I think I'm gonna move on to the of that pay per view. I'm gonna give a quick talk about the only two matches scheduled for. Actually, I'm probably just gonna talk. No, I think I'm just gonna talk about the main event of UFC 297, which is Sean versus Dricus, because I don't have a very big card, and I imagine that card is gonna be a lot more stacked because there's a fight for, I believe, the women's bantamweight title between Myra Silva and Raquel Pennington. I don't know who either of them are. I gotta do my research before I talk about it. Sean Strickland just beat Israel Adesanya. Sean Tarzan Strickland, the guy who everyone was clowning, he was a weird redneck. He fought a lot because he needed money. Strange dude. You know, we were waiting for him to fight Robert and get killed by Robert. He beat Israel Adesanya. He beat the last style, and he did it dominant. You didn't watch the fight.
No.
I did. It was monstrous.
It was monstrous fight.
It was monstrous how he beat him.
Oh, okay.
You have to understand, Adesanya hadn't been tested, and by that I mean hadn't even been shown to be weak against anybody's techniques, other than Robert in the second fight. Robert in the second fight actually put it on him a little bit. But other than that, he's dominated everyone. Jared Cannonier, he dominated. Who did he dominate before Jared? He dominated Marvin Vettori, Paulo Costa. He just ran through these.
Sorry, I'm going to be doing this a couple times throughout the podcast, just checking the camera to make sure it's still.
Go for it. But yeah, no, I don't think. In Dricus, from what I saw, Dricus didn't want to go at it with the style method. Because he had his opportunity. He won a number one contenders fight against Robert. That was the fight. Robert versus Dricus was the number one contenders fight. It was stated to be. So, and then Dricus said no. And I don't remember what that was for. I don't remember whether he was injured or what. But Israel didn't want to wait, so he fought Sean. And Sean ran through him, which we'd never seen.
Yeah.
So I think I've seen Dricus. Dricus is one of the most unorthodox guys I've ever seen in the UFC. But he's a great boxer. If this stays on the feet, he's probably going to wreck Dricus. And another thing that I think is very important, he's been training with a lot of people. For Izzy, he trained with Alex Pereira, the new UFC light heavyweight champion. For a little while, he trained for a little while with Hamzat. I don't know if you know who Hamzat is. Hamzat Chimaev is a monster. I believe he's 18-0, maybe 17-0. But he has a lot of wins, and nobody's really stopping him. The last dude he beat was former welterweight potential GOAT, Kamaru Usman. And he didn't win that fight exactly dominantly, because he definitely, in my opinion, he lost the third round because he started to slow down. So his gas tank may not be insane, but the rest of his abilities are insane. He has good striking. He has fantastic wrestling. His wrestling is god tier, but his striking is not amazing.
Anything else you'd like to talk about?
I think that's where we're gonna end it for the MMA and UFC in total.
Okay.
Mainly UFC, because that's the mainstream MMA source. I would talk about one or other stuff, but I don't know too much about one. So I think we're gonna end the MMA talk there.
We'll of course talk again next week.
Yeah, I'll get to the results of the fight night.
Yep. And anyway, but we're talking about freaking UFC here. How about we talk about their so-called business partner in TKO, which would be the
WWE, which is our good. That's a great segue. So that's actually a really good segue.
You're right.
That was a good segue into pro wrestling.
Let's talk about some WWE. I'm gonna go through what happened on Monday Night Raw and Friday Night SmackDown. We'll start off with Monday Night Raw. The biggest thing out of that is Rhea Ripley retained the Women's World Championship against, I I can't exactly remember her name, but she was part of the Creed Brothers group.
Oh, Ivy Nile.
Ivy Nile. Yep, Ivy Nile lost. Sad day for her. In the main event, Seth Rollins retained the World Heavyweight Championship. However, Drew McIntyre put up a good fight. He almost won. And, of course, we almost had a cash in from Damian Priest, which fell short. And I think the biggest thing that came out of this Raw, which we're going to actually talk about here in a second, is The Rock's return. And Jinder Mahal's. I'm joking. We don't care about Jinder.
I care about it.
No Jinder hinders.
We're a 3-man band.
Don't hinder Jinder. Don't hinder Jinder.
Yeah, never hinder Jinder.
Anyway, so yeah, The Rock comes out.
Why haven't they made that a shirt? They need to make that a
They
shirt.
do. Anyway, so
Don't hinder Jinder.
So then The Rock comes out, spinebuster, people's elbow, sends Jinder packing, and then, of course, the line that got everybody. Where should
I sit? At Denny's booth, at a table,
at the bar,
or should I sit at the head of the table?
The head of the table.
So let's start off with Rhea and Ivy. Was there any question? Was there any question who was going to win that?
No, it was going to be Rhea.
It was going to be Rhea. I like Ivy. Ivy's a really good wrestler. I've seen her a little bit on NXT. I don't watch NXT much. I don't watch much WWE. I'm not going to lie. Yeah. It's not my cup of tea. I think just a lot of it's either too predictable or just it's too. There's long term and then there's too long term in my opinion.
Yeah. But so The Rock.
Let's not only talk about The Rock. Let's talk about what's going on with Judgment Day. I think the Judgment Day. I think they're doing great things with Archer. I think they needed a comedy gimmick. They were doing too much seriousness, and I think this is going to be a good segue to have Finn.
Yeah.
Hopefully leave the group. I would prefer.
I think
Finn Balor
that would be a very good, interesting thing to go with.
Because I think they need to disband Judgment Day. They need to disband Judgment Day. I like Judgment Day. They had their time. I think they need to disband it though, because what are they really doing?
Nothing much. I mean, the only Damian could leave the group and go win the world title.
Damian? Oh, Damian Priest. I thought you. Well, I think you meant Dominic. I'm sorry.
Damian.
Yeah, I think the only two that really need to stick together are Rhea and Dominic. Those are the only two. Because honestly, Damian has no real reason to keep working with Finn.
He needs to go out and win that world title.
Well, whether he wins it or not, he just needs to leave. Honestly, I think he should cash it in soon.
Yep.
Honestly, I think it'd be interesting if he steals it. Steals he steals the title at Royal Rumble. Steals the title from Roman. Everyone's like, you can't bury Roman. You can't have Roman lose the belt. You guys forget there's a easy way to not ruin Roman, but get the belt off him, and that is the Money in the Bank briefcase. I cannot tell you how many times somebody has stolen the belt off somebody when they should never have had a chance of winning. Yeah. There's one dude who has ever said, "Oh no, I just got effed up in a match, but I'm gonna keep my belt," and that's John Cena. And John Cena has multiple said he's made some bad decisions, and a lot of people have said they've made bad decisions with John Cena.
It's gonna get to The Rock. I know it's the biggest thing coming out of Monday Night Raw.
Okay, but before we get to The Rock, we'll talk one thing about Drew McIntyre.
Yep. He lost the world title.
He did, and per reports, he has yet to come to an agreement.
Yeah, that's still a thing going on. It's been going on since WrestleMania.
Yes, he still has not signed a new contract, which I think ends. I don't think this month. I think it ends in March.
And he could be leaving the company.
I'll search that up exactly when we think his contract ends. But I think it's either in January or March. So I think his contract ends in March.
But anyway, I don't know. He'll probably enter the Royal Rumble. Like you think?
I don't think he'll win. I will not blame if we see Drew McIntyre leave to go back to being Drew Galloway. Yep. And we could see, let's take a look at the wrestling world as a whole. New Japan's going insane.
They got
Matt Riddle. They got Nick Nemeth, a.k.a.
Dolph Ziggler.
They're blowing up. They're entering once again. They've always been. They're not entering. They've always been the dominant Asian market.
Yeah, always. And they're not as big as WWE, but
they don't really need to be.
They don't need to be.
Because
they're kind of an indie promotion, but they're not.
Don't call them an indie promotion.
I wouldn't say that.
Wrestle Kingdom, in my opinion, is on the level of WrestleMania.
Okay. Well, yeah, definitely, yeah, 100%. I agree with that.
I believe it's on because the
And-
Tokyo Dome is huge.
And Wrestle Kingdom happened already, but
Yes,
very good show.
huge show. I think depending on how good this goes, we should think about getting some New Japan content
We might
because
start.
we're doing AEW next, so we should think about getting some New Japan. We got to watch New Japan more.
But anyway,
Let's move on to the big thing
The big
of
thing.
Monday Night Raw.
where The Rock basically called out Roman Reigns. And I'm gonna start this right now. A lot of people are debating: should they fight at Elimination Chamber, or should they fight at WrestleMania? And here's the thing: people are talking about Cody's story. People are talking about how Roman might not even have the belt anymore by that time. People say that it doesn't need the belt for this big of a matchup.
So I say it doesn't need the belt. Rock versus Roman could just be an easy, I want to be the head of the table. I want to be the head of the table. They have a match at Mania for it.
Roman would have to lose the belt.
Not necessarily.
No,
He could do it with the belt, and they could go 1-on-1, and then
Then Cody could finish his story.
yeah.
And then
I
Roman.
personally think that he needs to finish the story at SummerSlam. This all started at SummerSlam. Roman smashed Bray Wyatt.
No,
God
he
rest
came
his
back. He returned at SummerSlam, and then the next week on Payback or something is when he.
You're right. Yeah, you're right. But no, it was SummerSlam.
SummerSlam was the big.
He came
start
back.
Of this
He came back. He quote unquote smashed the Fiend Bray Wyatt.
Rest in peace.
And rest in peace, Bray. That killed me when I heard about that. That was just so terrible.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna relive that because that was a very sad night.
That was a bad night.
But he smashed the Fiend and Braun Strowman,
Yep.
and then kind of just moved on.
Yep. And since then, like Paul Heyman mentioned on SmackDown, which we'll get into SmackDown here in a minute, but Paul Heyman has mentioned how Roman has had a very good title reign. We can't forget that WrestleMania where he stacked Daniel Bryan and Edge in the middle of the ring.
Let's be honest. I'm not gonna lie to you. There's no reason to right now be talking about Roman versus The Rock, because if they're gonna do it at Elimination Chamber, they need to start building it now, which they kind of are. They kind of aren't.
Yeah, because it was just a tease. It wasn't really.
It
set.
was.
It was a tease.
I'm hoping that The Rock does not show up for Elimination Chamber. He doesn't show up after the Rumble. He doesn't do anything. I hope it's Roman versus The Rock WrestleMania.
Okay. But
Just
as I was saying about the whole Roman's big run, he's been doing
the man's
good.
1,000 days.
Past 1,000 days. At this
He's
point.
about to beat Hulk Hogan if he gets past WrestleMania.
Yeah, and another thing about that, like Paul Heyman said on SmackDown, he freaking said that once he beat Edge at Money in the Bank, John Cena came back. He beat John Cena, and then Brock Lesnar came back. He beat Brock Lesnar like 3 times, I think. And then who else has come back now? Like so many people want to get this title off of Roman, and no one has done it.
It's a tall task.
Anyway, but speaking of SmackDown, let's talk about some SmackDown stuff that went down. We can start with the United States title. And I'm going to have to go with Logan Paul versus Kevin Owens will be a good match for the Rumble. Don't you think? Because Kevin Owens beat Santos Escobar on SmackDown.
I have my opinions.
On Logan Paul.
I do. I have my opinions on Logan Paul. I think he's a terrible champion.
No.
I think he's a great wrestler, but he's a terrible champion because he's already rich.
Yeah.
He has no reason to work full time at WWE. So why they made him a champion boggles my mind.
Yeah. And he's not even working hard. He's not even. He's less.
Part-time.
He's there less than
Part-time.
Roman.
Which is insane. Roman went from being, and I can understand once you reach that level of stardom, you don't have to be there all the time. You can spend time with your family, but that's Roman. Roman Reigns is the guy.
Yes.
He is the guy. He's paid his dues. If he wants to stay home and stay with his family and not always be on the show, he doesn't necessarily always have to be on the show because it's different. Because don't get me wrong, he wasn't all like it's the reason I don't like Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar didn't show up ever,
Never.
all the time.
Never at all. And
The only time he did was back in 2000s. But when it came to the 2010s, he was never here full time because he went to the UFC and made so much money, so he was never here. He didn't need to be here full time. But Roman, he for like 4 or 5 years, he was there day in, day out. He did everything.
Yeah.
So when he came back, finally went heel, had the big mega heel run we all knew he could have. He has the right to not be there. Logan Paul does not. Yeah. Logan Paul is not
Logan Paul
the
doesn't
guy.
really care about his thing. I mean, like, he cares about the title, but, I don't know. Let's get next to the next segment that happened on SmackDown. Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits come out to talk.
Yes.
Bobby Lashley has declared himself in the Royal Rumble. Bobby Lashley will be in the Royal Rumble match. But it's what happened afterwards.
It's what happens afterwards that's the big headline, which is a group everyone already assumed was coming back, which is the Authors of Pain, along with Karrion Kross. And the thing that actually confused me was their manager was back as well, Paul Rosenberg. I was not expecting him to come back because before they had left, of course, they were in the what was the group?
Monday
It
Night
was
Messiah group.
the Monday Night Messiah group. They were the disciples.
The disciples with Murphy, who is now
Buddy Matthews in AEW.
Yep.
But I was surprised they came back with him. I guess it would make sense, the Authors of Pain come back to their old, boss after they, went and did their own thing, which they, I don't know. No, not Drake Maverick. We're not even talking about Drake Maverick because I don't know if you know this. The Authors of Pain tried to start their own company and it was an absolute failure. No offense to them. Akam and Razor are two incredibly talented athletes. They do not know what it takes to book a show. But anyway, I definitely think that's an amazing tag team. Karrion Kross and what are you doing? Oh, okay. I'm just making sure. I'm just confused. I see you saying I should. But no, I think that's an amazing group right there. I think that's a group that can run roughshod.
And it looks like the first feud is going to be with the Bobby Lashley and Street Profits.
Yeah, I don't know what that group's name is.
I don't know what it is either, but anyway, let's get to
Hurt
the next
Profits?
thing. The Hurt Profits. Funny. The next match is Io Sky defeats, I don't know what her name is, but she's part of the OC group with a...
Mia Yim?
No, they don't call it. Oh. Maybe. I don't know. But she beat her for the retainer title. So,
Oh, yeah. Michin.
Yeah, they changed her name.
What?
They always change their names.
I don't know why. Her name is Mia Yim. I don't know why you just keep that.
Yeah, anyway, but I mean, Io Sky used to be...
No, she went back to being Io Sky.
Oh, yeah.
She used to be just Io.
Or Io Shirai, maybe it was.
No, Io Shirai's... Is that her name?
I don't know. I don't care.
Who cares?
Io Sky is who it is. She retains the women's title. Cool
Not
for her.
shocked.
Good for her. Bianca Belair has declared herself for the Women's Royal Rumble.
I just hope she doesn't win.
Oh, and I forgot to mention the announcements. So Becky Lynch has entered herself into the Royal Rumble for the women's, and Shinsuke Nakamura has entered himself in the Royal Rumble for the men's.
So that means we're definitely going to be seeing Cody in there as well.
Yeah. Cody's already declared.
Cody and Shinsuke still having their feud, right?
Yes, they're having a match coming up, and I was going to talk about it, but yeah, they're having a match on this coming Raw. So the day this is going to be dropped, they're having a match later in the night. Let's see. The next thing is Butch. Who you hate that name for?
I hate that name so much. I don't know why they call him Butch. I wish they could go back to using his name Pete Dunne. Or just Pete.
I don't know. But anyway, he has reunited with Tyler Bate, and they took on Pretty Deadly.
Yes.
And I think they won. Yeah, they did. They beat Pretty Deadly. So that's interesting there to see what that could go. And I think the biggest thing that came out of SmackDown was the triple threat main event between Randy Orton, AJ Styles, and LA Knight.
Yes, and
The winner advanced to face Roman at the Rumble. There was no winner.
No, there was not.
contest.
There was not. It was a huge no contest and a win by our good friend Roman Reigns.
Roman Reigns is like, I'm coming in, I'm smashing you, and he smashed everybody. So that prompted Nick Aldis to come up to Paul Heyman, and he said, "Tell him congratulations, because now it's a fatal 4-way."
So,
what do you think about this?
I think it was a good move on WWE's part. Because first off, Nick Aldis has already kind of made it clear that he's not taking bullshit. He's the boss.
No.
He's not like other authority members before him, where it's like, oh, is he in charge, or is he just kind of acting like he's in charge? He's gonna punk out to everybody else. No, he made it clear he's not punking out to nobody. He straight up told Roman, "Great job, you're a dumbass."
Yeah. Now it's gonna be a fatal 4-way. I'm sorry to say this, but I've been reading polls on YouTube and stuff like that. LA Knight's gonna take the pin, whether that's gonna be from Roman or someone else.
Which
It
would
sucks to say
suck.
that. LA is gonna take the pin. I just feel like that's the key component here. You know what I mean?
I think that's exactly what's gonna happen.
And it sucks, but they just have so many talented people on these rosters now. Like a while back, I never even wanted to watch WWE, but now they have a stacked roster, and sadly, everybody in those rosters are going after the world titles. So there's not enough room for all those top stars that should be stars. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, oh my God, shut up!
Come on, just focus. Just ignore the dog.
Anyway, let's go to some AEW Dynamite stuff.
Let's go to
Shifting our focus.
AEW Dynamite. Let's talk about Dynamite.
Let's
Let's
start-
talk about the absolute interesting.
First, Samoa Joe had some comments and basically was talking about whoever wants to challenge me, challenge me. We'll get to that in a little bit with collision stuff. But
Yes.
anyway, after Samoa Joe, we cut to the new Devil Group actually named themselves
The Undisputed Kingdom.
after they attacked MJF, revealed himself. Adam Cole revealed himself as the Devil.
Bay.
We all knew it was Adam Cole. We all knew.
Okay, so it was debatable. We
It
were
was
all
debatable.
hoping it was actually going to be good. It was going to be Adam Cole. But what ended up happening was it was not Adam Cole. What? I'm kidding.
It was 100% Adam Cole.
But no, I think it was played perfectly because when you think about it, look at the parallels between how MJF got the championship and how he lost the championship. He got the championship by saying, "Screw everyone I've ever worked with. Screw you.
Even with the help of William Regal. And then
He screwed him right over.
and then guess where William Regal is? NXT.
Yeah.
So,
He knocked his old ass all the way back to NXT. No offense, Regal. You're one of the best of all
I
time.
remember when he said he would do it to Joe too.
Yeah, that went real well for him, didn't it?
Yeah, no, it did not. Joe is the world champion here now, and MJF might be the one going to WWE, but we'll talk about that.
That's
in
a big debate. That's
We'll talk about
that's
that
a
in
big
a
debate.
different episode.
Yes.
But anyway, MJF, he's basically Adam Cole says MJF is gone. He's not coming back.
Which it might be a work, might be real. You never know.
Then Adam Cole says that Matt Taven and Mike Bennett, Ring of Honor World Tag Team Champions, good for them.
Undisputed King.
Roddy or Roderick Strong is going after Orange Cassidy. That's a good feud right there. For the
That's a
international,
great feud.
For the international.
I haven't seen anyone talk about it yet, and because I don't really watch a lot of pro wrestling YouTubers, I watch more so MMA YouTubers because I already know what I want to know about wrestling.
Yeah.
So I haven't seen many people's reaction to that, but I think that honestly, that was an amazing plan by them because that's an amazing feud right there.
And speaking of Orange Cassidy, real quick, he retains the title against.
Yeah, he retains the title against Dante Martin. That was a good match. It was a good match.
We'll get into the aftermath of that in a minute. But to finish off this segment, he then says Wardlow's going after the AEW World Title, and then says he's going to surrender it to him when he's healthy.
Yeah. I like what AEW did there because you could just see on Wardlow's face when he says he'll surrender
He was
it
like,
to me once again. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah, I'm not going to do that.
It's a very volatile group because it's clear the only reason that Wardlow was even with them was because he
wanted
wanted
revenge on
on Max.
And he got that.
It was
Remember-
going to happen. one way
Remember
or
how he
another.
said he was going to take everything from him? We all thought it meant the title. It didn't mean the title specifically. It meant he was literally going to
Well-
take everything from Max, and he did because Adam Cole was best friend.
He helped Adam take away everything.
Yeah, Bang Bang Gang's coming because they
The
attacked.
last time you fought the Switchblade, the catalyst of professional wrestling, you were with all your friends. So I decided that this time I'll bring a couple of my own. And then out come the guns,
and they go down and start beating them up.
It's a fight, and then Wardlow gets involved, and it
starts to get outnumbered.
They're outnumbered,
and then the Acclaimed come out
the
because they were also attacked by them. And at this point, it's just like
it leads to the question of who gets their hands on the Undisputed Kingdom first. Is it going to be the Bullet Club Gold, or will it be the Acclaimed?
And you can also think about it because we'll talk about our Collision when we get there. So we'll skip this anyway. The Orange Cassidy match.
Orange Cassidy wins. Beats Dante Martin.
After the match, Private Party returns.
Yes,
which is interesting.
Yes, so happy to see the Private Party. And they basically say
that they're going to go after all the tag teams, including the Hardys. And if we know Isaiah Cassidy has been working with the Hardys recently, that's going to be interesting.
I'm still worried about the Hardys.
I'm kind of worried about the Hardys as well.
I don't know what they're doing with them. I don't know if they have a plan for them, but the Hardys have been losing consistently. I do want the Hardys to retire, but I want them to retire on a good
note. The next fight is, or not fight, I should say, but next Swerve Strickland going to the AEW World Championship.
Yes,
we needed this. Swerve 2024. I think he needs to be champion.
Swerve 2024 needs to be champion. I disagree. I disagree. No. I don't think 2024. I think you got a long term in this. I don't even think he should be AEW World Champion. I think he should be Ring of Honor World Championship right now.
Well, who's holding that? Eddie Kingston holding that title, the Triple Crown champion.
Because let's be honest, right now, I think what Swerve needs to do is he needs to wait for Keith Lee.
Yeah, because we were gonna have that fight at World's End, but Keith got injured or something.
I don't think it would have even ended at World's End. I think it would have continued. But I think it's better that he didn't show up because now, while he's injured for the little while
why can't they make it to the world title? That could be also interesting.
Tell me right now, do you think Keith Lee is world championship level?
No.
I like Keith Lee. Keith Lee's a beast. And if you were just to put him in like an open challenge world title match, that makes sense. Yeah. Even having him close to winning, because he's been a two-time he's held 2 belts in NXT. He could have been a champion in AEW. I don't know why they didn't make him. I mean, in WWE, I don't know why they didn't make him a champion, like at least in the United States or Intercontinental. But no, I think what you do is you wait for Keith and Swerve to finish their feud. Have it be a banger feud. Like, don't just make it, Swerve wins. Yeah. And then that's it. No, you gotta drag it out a little bit. Have Keith Lee win the feud. But then you know what you do? You reignite the feud with a match for a number 1 contender shot.
Mariah May makes her debut in the ring.
Yes.
And someone else makes her debut. You can talk about this because I don't really know the girl.
I forget her name.
Her name is Dinona Perez. It's on the notes here.
The Virtuosa. Deonna Purrazzo. She hits her. She shows up. She hits her with the "Hey, I'm coming for Toni Storm." And I think I actually said her name wrong too, but it don't matter. She's the Virtuosa.
Toni Storm's gonna beat her. I'm sorry. I hate that they would do that. The women's division isn't the best right now, and they have so many stacked women on the card that
they don't though, because a lot of their top girls are out.
Yeah, they're at Britt's gone right now.
Dr. Britt Baker.
Oh, and if you haven't heard that, I don't know if I've told you about that story yet, but apparently fans were talking crap on her, saying she was having too much TV time. So that's why she stopped TV. But she stepped back. And a lot of people were saying, that's just the WWE marks talking. People, the AEW haters, are just saying that. We love you, come back.
I agree. I think she was doing an amazing job. I don't know if here's my.
I don't know if that story was true.
If you are mad about her getting so much TV time, ask some of your other wrestlers to be better. I hate to be that guy, but Dr. Britt Baker genuinely made me interested in the women's division. And that's hard to do. I'm not interested in women's MMA. I wasn't interested in Ronda Rousey. I'm not interested in women's wrestling. There's a very few number of women who get me interested in women's wrestling. Nobody from I hate how everyone's like, oh, Sasha Banks is amazing. Oh, Charlotte Flair's amazing. Oh, Becky Lynch is amazing. Becky Lynch was amazing for her run. Sasha Banks was amazing for her run. Charlotte Flair, I've never liked Charlotte Flair. I'm not gonna hide my feelings.
Yeah. She's injured right now with a knee injury.
I've never liked Charlotte Flair. She's a good wrestler. She's good at what she does. I've never liked her. I think she has too many title reigns in my opinion.
They're trying to make it like that.
I don't care.
Speaking of her
Her
dad
dad had 16 titles.
Her dad is in AEW too. I mean,
woo energy.
Christian Cage talks about his title win, even though he lost the title.
Let's talk about Christian Cage, the patriarch, the father you want, I want, you need.
No. He retained the. No, he did not retain.
He lost the TNT title, but then, by the grace of
Killswitch,
his son, Killswitch.
I don't.
Killswitch is his son. Killswitch is happy to be Christian Cage's son.
I don't.
In all seriousness, I think the match was amazing.
The match was great.
I think
Except,
it was.
I think the only reason there was one part in the match that I think is why it didn't get a 5-star match, because I was looking at it, it was like 4.75 stars or something like that, because of the botch at the very end where, or the bat where the he cashed in the title and stuff, and then the botch.
What botch?
Where Adam Copeland threw Nick Wayne a little too far up past the flank, fired the table, kind of missed the table. Remember?
No, I think that was on purpose.
I don't know, but
I don't think that was a botch. I'll have to rewatch the clip, but I think he did that on purpose because you don't want to throw somebody in fire.
he's also 19.
Remember what happened to fucking Cody?
Oh God.
Cody died.
Yeah, that might not be the start of his "I'm coming back to WWE" campaign, but
Nick Wayne was never in WWE.
Konosuke Takeshita beats Darby Allin.
That was a great match.
Yeah.
I honestly thought Darby was going to win.
I did too.
I think they're putting Konosuke over. Amazing.
I think he could go for the world title.
Takeshita, he's amazing. Yeah, he is a world title contender. I promise you he is.
Trent Beretta beats a whole bunch of random dudes.
What do you mean random?
Okay.
Dudes? Don't say random. Name them. It was Brian Cage, the Machine.
El Hijo del.
I don't even blame you. It's Del Viking. It's Del
and then Brian Keith.
The bounty hunter Brian Keith.
And he won. Trent Beretta is going to fight
Eddie Kingston.
Eddie Kingston for the Continental title, which Eddie Kingston won.
Yeah.
Eddie Kingston beat him.
Can we just quickly talk about the Continental Championship?
Sure.
I don't think they needed another championship.
I don't think so either. I hate it.
I think
I'm sorry.
it
I love AEW, but that was not. I thought it was like a championship.
Yeah, it was like the Owen Hart thing. Like
No.
you win it and then it's a championship for a little while.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I understand why they did it. Eddie Kingston's one of their top guys. He's under contract with AEW, even though he also works with New Japan and Ring of Honor.
And it was just, I don't know.
It didn't seem necessary.
It's not necessary, honestly. But let's get Eddie Kingston beat him on Collision. Moving on. And then, of course, the final fight of the night, Swerve Strickland beats Daniel Garcia. And out comes an angry Hangman Adam Page, who was also attacked by the Undisputed Kingdom. He wants to kill Joe, because apparently Joe told Adam Cole and the Undisputed Kingdom to attack him, to get heat off of him or something. And now, the Hangman is coming.
Yes, the Hangman wants his revenge, and I remember you said it, we don't want this feud again. What do you mean?
This was a great feud.
It was a 5-star death match.
It was a 5-star deathmatch. You're right. But I just don't think we need this feud again. That's all. They're very good talents. I
disagree. I think we need to feud again.
You think we need it?
I think we need it in a normal match this time.
They had a normal match. It's Swerve
No,
won.
they didn't. They had a death match.
Forget about Wrestle Dream.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Cheating.
There was cheating in that. There was cheating in the death match.
But that was legal.
Okay, you're right.
Can we get them in a cage match?
No. Yes.
Can we get the Hangman versus Swerve?
That would be great. Tony Khan, if you're watching this, which I know you're not, book it.
Tony,
Cage match.
Tony, I know you can hear me. I'm a future wrestler for you. I need you to do that for me. I need you to do a cage match. Hangman, Adam Page versus Swerve the Realist.
And then the winner gets a world title shot. Think about it. I mean,
no, because you can't make a good case for Hangman getting a world title shot.
he's kind of gone down the card a little bit.
Not Not even really. He's still in the main event scene, but he's lost. He lost to Swerve quite a bit. So even if he beat Swerve, even if he beat Swerve once in a big profile match, he lost to him twice in 2 other big profile matches.
Oh, there we go. All right. Let's start on some collision. Darby Allin and Sting beat the Workhorsemen as they get ready to fight the
Don Callis
family on AEW's Homecoming as they're going back to Daly's place from when COVID was around and stuff. So that's going to be fun to watch.
I think it's a great match.
Yeah. Eddie Kingston beat Trick Beretta to retain the title.
Yes.
And here's what I meant earlier when Samoa Joe basically told anybody, "Come get my title." Guess who steps up to the plate?
The young man Hook. Young man Hook. I was surprised they chose Hook to be the challenger because
he's gonna die. I'm sorry.
Well, no, you could have chosen anyone else. Why would you choose Hook?
I don't know. I mean, Hook, like I said earlier today while we were watching it, Hook basically said he wants the title shot, and I mentioned he's only lost once, and that was to Jack Perry.
True, but who have you really beat? You beat Kip Sabian. You beat Jack Perry once. You beat I can't even remember anyone else big.
No one big. I don't know, man.
I think he beat Christian Cage. He beat RVD.
He beat Ricky Starks for the FTW.
He did beat Ricky Starks. To be fair, though, I think Hook was already like 20-0 when he beat Ricky Starks.
And then the Undisputed Kingdom defeat Brian Keith and Commander. I don't even know what the match was for. They just were fighting.
Yeah. Well, no, it was for the Ring of Honor World Championships.
And after the match, the Acclaim approached Bullet Club Gold and say they need to work together because, like everyone says, the enemy of my enemy is my friend.
I don't think that's going to work.
I don't think
in any way, shape, or form.
I think it's going to turn out to be those two teams battling it out for the trios titles. And you said bring in the Undisputed Kingdom too to make it a triple threat trio.
Like, here's my idea: why would you not make it a 3-on-3-on-3?
I mean, that would be cool. We've never seen it before yet, here in AEW at least. But it would be cool to see.
I just don't see why you don't do it.
Then the winners would get the trio titles. I mean, that would be cool. I like it.
And honestly, that's the reason you take it off them.
Yeah, that would be the reason.
Because if you make it a 3-on-3-on-3, don't even put it on the Undisputed Kingdom. Put it on the Bullet Club.
Yes, put it on the Bullet Club because the Bullet Club, they could use those titles.
And guess what?
Very good with those titles.
In that way, Bullet Club Gold gets their hands back on those guys.
Yep. And the Acclaim.
The Acclaim gets their hands on them too. And then, of course, since the Acclaim think, hey, the Bullet Club Gold's not gonna try to take our titles, we're all focused on beating up the Undisputed Kingdom.
No, they're gonna take the titles.
They're gonna take the titles.
And then it's gonna start a mini feud between them.
Yes.
There you go.
I think that's what you do. Because personally, actually, how long have they haven't reigning very long.
They've been reigning like 3 months.
I think a little.
No, they won it all in. That was in August. So August, September, October, November. We're in January. That's almost 6 months.
Okay.
Because January just
I
started.
feel
so
like if
5
you
months.
do the match, you gotta do it at
Revolution.
Yeah.
That's the next pay-per-view. And that would
so
be
that
an
would be
extra
like
2 more
7
months.
months.
So that's good title reign.
Yeah.
Great title.
That's a great title reign.
So
I mean, that's about a little longer than the Death Triangle.
Yep. And of course, sucks for the what was the Elite never really got their title reign.
I think it was fair.
Yeah.
They all wanted to go do other things. They got their time taken as trios champions away.
Adam Copeland says he's open challenge. He's like, I'm coming back for the TNT title. You want me to win my way there? I'm going to do it. He beats Griff Garrison. Who's Griff Garrison?
Yeah. I was shocked.
Yeah.
I was shocked to see him. I didn't know he was doing stuff with Cole Carter.
I don't even know Cole Carter, bro. I'm going to be honest.
He used to be a part of QT Marshall.
Yeah. Sky Blue beats Kiera Hogan. Someone called it the cake matchup.
We're PG! 13.
Claudio Castagnoli versus Hangman Page is official for next week's Dynamite. That's going to be cool.
That's
going to be nice.
Is kind of confusing, kind of not. Blackpool Combat Club doesn't really like Hangman. Blackpool Combat Club has no reason not to challenge Hangman. But what is Claudio doing challenging Hangman?
I don't know. We're going to find out.
Well, I know it's not even like...
And you don't know about this, but I do.
Okay.
I forgot. Ricky Starks and Big Bill versus Chris Jericho and Sammy Guevara in a street fight for the AEW Tag Team
Next
Championship
week.
at Battle of the Belts 9 after Collision goes off the air.
Woo!
What do you think? Yeah, you thinking good about that one? Battle of the Belts 9 is coming, and I think this will be the first time a title change happens.
Really?
I think Chris Jericho and Sammy Guevara will do it. I do. I think they can do it.
I disagree.
You think that Big Bill and Ricky Starks will retain?
It's a street fight.
It is a street fight, right?
What does a street fight mean?
Death.
No rules.
Yeah, no rules.
There's nobody who's going to come help either of these teams.
No.
Nobody likes either.
Hello, everybody. Sorry about that. The camera died, but I now have Isaac as a guest here. I'm going to finish off what we were talking about earlier, me and Kobe. Basically, FTR came in, beat up, or lost to, or FTR beat the House of Black. House of Black attacked them. Daniel Garcia came to the help. They all got beat up. Yeah. All right. You got like 5 to 10 minutes. Talk about your basketball. We'll get into the end.
We're going to talk about these power rankings. You know, my personal power rankings for the NBA. You know, we're going to have the Philadelphia 76ers at the top spot, Boston Celtics at the 2, Denver Nuggets at the 3, OKC at the 4, and man, we're gonna go ahead and put the Bucks at the 5 because Giannis has been putting up 40 lately. Almost had 50 bombs the other day. My favorite team's OKC. So you already know they're gonna go to the NBA championship, and Shea is gonna be the MVP. I think he's the MVP. People saying it's gonna be Embiid, Jokic, Giannis, Luka. I think it's gonna be Shea. I mean, he's balling out this season.
That's all you gotta say.
That's all I gotta say.
Okay. Give it up for that. Basketball. We'll get more stuff going when the playoffs eventually arrive. And maybe when you actually start watching more basketball. Anyway, football talk. This is what I've been waiting for. And I actually got someone to talk to me about it. Alright, let's check the NFL scores for the day. NFL scores. Alright, we're going to start off with the first game on here. It was 31-14. Bengals defeat the Browns. Then we have the Lions taking on the Vikings. The Lions defeat the Vikings 30-20. Then the Buccaneers defeat the Panthers 9-0. The Jets finally defeat the Patriots 17-3. The Saints beat the Falcons 48-17. The Jaguars get upset by the Titans 28-20. The Jaguars have been eliminated from the playoffs. The Rams upset the 49ers, though I don't think the 49ers starters played. So Rams win 21-20 there. Seahawks win 21-20 against the Cardinals. Interesting. The Chiefs defeat the Chargers 13-12. The Cowboys defeat the Commanders 38-10. The Giants upset the Eagles 27-10. That's hilarious. The Packers defeat the Bears 17-9. They own them. That's why the Packers are going to be in the playoffs. Then the Raiders defeat the Broncos 27-14. And then, of course, the Texans defeated the Colts 23-19, and the Steelers defeated the Ravens 17-10. So we're coming up on the late night game here, which is Bills and Dolphins. Before we get into the last thing, what do you think about all those games?
Playoffs are set now.
Playoffs are set.
Just gotta see who's playing who.
Yep. What was I gonna say? Who do you want the Chiefs to play? We're Chiefs fans, big Chiefs fans. If you didn't see my cup earlier, big Chiefs fans.
We're gonna hope that Miami wins tonight and that we get Pittsburgh in the first round.
Pittsburgh. Yeah, that's a good choice there. So basically, hold on. Yeah, we need Miami to win tonight, and that's the picks right there. I got Miami going for Bills, and even if the Bills win, that means we're playing Miami. I think we can beat Miami, right? Yeah, we already did it once, and it'll be at home this time, not in, what was it, Germany? We were in Germany? Yeah, where the ref said, full start in whatever he said, I don't know. He said, false start in German. Dude was, but no, so I'm just going to go ahead and say we want the Dolphins to win, so I'm going to put that into this system here. Playoff predictor, go look pretty good. And that would make the playoffs look like this. If the Dolphins win tonight, the Texans play the Browns. This happens no matter what. The Texans play the Browns.
Texans will play the Browns.
The Texans will play the Browns
Houston.
in Houston. The Texans win the championship because the Jaguars are idiots, and Trevor Lawrence is going like can't even make the freaking goal line. It was Then the Chiefs would play the Steelers, and then the Bills would play the Dolphins. Now, if the Dolphins lose tonight, the Bills would play the Steelers at home, and the Dolphins would play the Chiefs. So that's how the AFC plans out. NFC is done. The NFC said that they've been set in stone. The Eagles will be playing the Buccaneers at Tampa Bay.
Yep.
I think the Eagles can get the job done, honestly.
105 in their last 6 games, they're due for a bounce back. I think they'll get it done.
Yeah, so do I. The Lions will take on the Rams, and this is a very interesting game because the Matthew Stafford and Jared Goff trade a couple years back, and the Rams already went to a Super Bowl with Matthew Stafford, so now I think it's the Lions' turn. With Jared Goff. So no, it was Matthew Stafford. So I think it's Jared Goff's turn to take the Lions, maybe to the NFC Championship game.
I think the Rams will win. With Laporta being questionable for next week, that takes out one weapon. They're gonna be focused on Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Yeah.
The Los Angeles defense is pretty good. If they keep scoring on offense with Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp, Kyron Williams, I think they could make it to the NFC Championship, maybe the Super Bowl.
That would be cool. Anyway, and the last matchup is the Dallas Cowboys taking on the Green Bay Packers.
We all know Packers versus Cowboys. Was it a catch? Personally, I didn't think so, but a lot of Cowboys fans would say it was a catch.
Yeah.
But I think the Cowboys are going to get it done.
I do too. Packers are good, but are they that good?
I mean, Packers.
Because then, guess what happens? If the Packers do end up upsetting the Cowboys, guess where they go? They go straight to
San Francisco.
And San Francisco's going to whoop them up.
Yeah, I think Dallas will win.
So do I.
Packers, they're just not good enough. Jordan Love, not the right season. Then he needs more weapons, needs more help.
Anyway, so with that being said, we're gonna make our Super Bowl predictions each week. Each week it goes to the playoffs, all that. We're gonna make our predictions. All right. So, but tomorrow this will be posted tomorrow, or it'll be posted whenever. It'll be posted.
It will get out whenever.
Anyway, whenever it's out, probably on January 8th, Monday. This game would have been played, the Dolphins-Bills, so I'll update that for you guys. But basically, if the Dolphins win, which we want them to, this is what the playoffs would look like. I'm going to go with the Browns upsetting the Texans. Not really an upset. They're both pretty good teams. The Chiefs will beat the Steelers, and then the Bills will upset the Dolphins. And I'll tell you guys why here in a minute. Then we go down here. I got the Eagles, the Lions, and the Cowboys. Let's go into, that was the wild card round. In the divisional round, that would mean the Chiefs would go and play Browns in a very good game, I think. But I think the Chiefs would get it done. And I'm going to tell you right now, the Chiefs are in the Super Bowl. I'm biased. And if I had to pick another team, Ravens. I'm sorry. You can pick your teams in a minute. Then I would have the Ravens versus the Bills. The Ravens are so good. But the reason I'm picking the Bills over the Ravens is because I want the Bills. I want the home field advantage. We want the home field advantage. So, Bills Chiefs at Arrowhead, 6th straight consecutive AFC Championship game.
Yep.
The Lions versus the Cowboys. Everyone's probably saying Cowboys should lose because of the BS that the Lions got robbed. Lions got robbed. Cowboys.
Yep.
I think the Cowboys will win it because just because oh my God, the Lions got robbed. They I know they might have gone robbed. The refs were kind of iffy on that, but still, I still think the Cowboys do it. The Niners will easily roll past the Eagles because the Eagles are playing like garbage right now. They've lost their 1 out of 5.
They're 1-5 in the last 6 games of the regular season.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
10-1 to
10-1 to that.
5.
So that's not good for them. And then let's go into the conference championships. The Niners and the Cowboys. The Cowboys will upset the Niners. And I want to say this. I do think that the Niners will probably whoop the Niners are going to whoop the Cowboys, but I want the Cowboys to win, personally. And, of course, the Chiefs will beat the Bills. And for the Super Bowl, I got Chiefs-Cowboys. Chiefs to win. Now, that's my biased opinion. My unbiased opinion will go with the Ravens and the Niners, and I think the Ravens will whoop the Niners again like they did in the regular season. Now, with that being said, Isaac is going to do his.
All right, so we're gonna have, assuming that the Miami Dolphins win tonight, then it'll be Cleveland, Houston. I got Cleveland, Kansas City versus Pittsburgh, Kansas City, Bills, Miami. We got Bills. We're gonna go with the Buffalo Bills on that one, just like Alex had. And we have Eagles, Buccaneers. We're gonna say the Eagles are gonna win that one.
They've been playing.
They're gonna bounce back, get a win.
Yep.
Los Angeles Rams versus the Detroit Lions. We're gonna go with the Los Angeles Rams in that one.
It's a good game.
Yeah, I think the weapons, the defense, they're gonna win.
And then
Dallas Cowboys versus Green Bay Packers. We're gonna stick with the Dallas Cowboys winning that one, which takes us to the divisional round. It would be Chiefs Browns. It's gonna be a very good game. In my opinion. Joe Flacco, Mark Cooper. Unfortunately, Nick Chubb is out, so Jerome Ford and Kareem Hunt are gonna have to take that backfield over. They already have.
They've already have very,
But they're gonna have to
and that Deshaun Watson
step up against the Chiefs
I
defense.
believe that Deshaun Watson might win a ring
Deshaun Watson is not winning the ring.
though. And if they get to the Super Bowl,
Let's be- Deshaun Watson will never win a ring.
anyway.
Buffalo versus Ravens. Personally, I think the Ravens are frauds, but might be a hot take. But
It's a hot take because you don't like your friend.
No,
He'll be on the show.
the
sometime.
Ravens. I mean, good team, good football team, good head coach, good all around. But who do they beat? Who are good in the Niners? Brock Purdy. I'm not sold on Brock Purdy. Who else do they beat?
So you got
Miami, Tua. Tua looked terrible in that
Basically,
game.
got the Bills over.
So I got the Bills beating the Ravens. So that would, in the NFC, it would bring us
Ooh, two divisional matchups.
Eagles versus Cowboys and Los Angeles Rams versus San Francisco.
I want to hear your
49ers.
opinions on this. The Rams just beat the Niners 21-20. However, I think the Niners were sitting their starters, so I don't think that mattered. very
Well,
much.
so Eagles, Cowboys. I'm gonna go with the Cowboys. I think CeeDee Lamb's gonna torch them. AJ Brown just got hurt today. I don't know how long that's gonna be till he comes back, but if he doesn't come back, then Cowboys defense only has to worry about what Dallas Goedert and DeAndre Swift, Jalen Hurts.
Not that much.
Then we have Los Angeles Rams versus San Francisco 49ers. And, we're going to take the 49ers in that one. I think it'll be close. Matthew Stafford, Cooper Kupp, going to make it close, but I think the Ravens are going to pull it out. Not Ravens, 49ers.
49ers, yeah.
Pull it out. And that's going to lead us to the conference championship. Bills, Chiefs, Cowboys, Niners. We're going to go
Chiefs.
Bills and Arrow. Chiefs and Arrow.
Yeah, I was like, what?
I think the Chiefs will get it done.
Obviously,
I think the offense is going to start clicking again
we need them.
after the struggles we have had. Earlier in the season, we had this matchup. Didn't go the way Chiefs wanted.
Kadarius
Of
Toney.
course,
I hope you're watching this, Kadarius Toney.
the Kadarius.
You're the
Toney
reason
is-
we're not in the playoffs. You're the reason we're not.
No, I
in the
know it should have been called, but it's just a crazy play. But I think they'll get it done this time. And then we're gonna go with the San Francisco 49ers making the Super Bowl. Brock Purdy.
rematch of Super Bowl 50, huh?
I think Brock Purdy is gonna get carried to the Super Bowl
So
by
Super
his
Bowl,
receivers,
Super Bowl
his
50,
defense.
Super Bowl 50
So-
rematch.
Super Bowl 50 rematch, and
I think with the same outcome.
and then we're gonna have the Chiefs versus the 49ers in the Super Bowl, and
Same outcome.
I think the Chiefs are gonna beat them. I don't think the 49ers offense is gonna do well against our defense.
Yeah, our defense is pretty good.
Brock Purdy. He's not a
Their
bad
defense is
quarterback,
pretty good too, though.
but
our offense not playing the best right now. But other than that, that's your biased opinion, I assume.
yeah, that's probably my biased opinion.
What's your unbiased opinion?
unbiased opinion? We're gonna go Bills, Eagles.
Bills, Eagles.
Bills,
Well, that's a good.
Eagles
That's a
would be
good Super Bowl.
unbiased.
That would be a good Super Bowl to watch. Now, these are just our picks going into the playoffs. These can change as the playoffs roll out because
And also all that if the Bills lose tonight.
yeah, because if that doesn't
But if
happen,
they don't, then
we're playing the Dolphins.
It's all messed up.
It's all messed up. We're hoping for the Bills lose. Bills lose. All right, but anyway, I think that's going to be the end of this podcast. And stay tuned for next week where we will recap the week again and get you into the previews of the next week. So with that being said, see you later, and I will put